One of the reasons people invest in the stock market is to make money and also make this money consistently. Now, if you're investing in the stock market and you're not making enough money and you're not making this money consistently, you are not actually investing in the stock market. Now, there are two reasons for this. Is that you're investing in the wrong stock or you're investing wrongly. So today we'll be discussing or showing you 7 stocks that are not just paying dividends, but they are paying dividends consistently and they've been paying consistently. Welcome to Clockwise. My name is Providence. And I don't do this alone. I have a stock market analyst, one that has been analyzing for Francisco Alpha for a very long time. And today he's also here. Now, with a resounding virtual round of applause, welcome, Mr. Kane. Welcome to Clockwise.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
The stock market is not a charity organization. So when you're investing, you're supposed to be seeing dividends. So once you're not seeing dividends, or you cannot sell any stock you invest in, you're not actually investing in the stock market.
Yeah.
Now, this is June. This is June. Today is 1st of June. Most companies pay dividends in June. Most of them. I know of them, Dangote Cements, and the rest of them, they pay dividends in June. So before we actually list those stocks that have been paying dividends consistently and will pay consistently also, now let's first of all talk about those companies that will be paying this month of June. So let's list them and say.
Okay, so not those companies that will be paying this month, but those companies that will pay between this month and next month, June and July.
Yes.
Okay, so over the last week there was a publication that was done. I think Nairametrics also made that publication. So true also. And that was companies that have qualified to pay dividends. We've been on this channel and most of the times we talk about companies that, especially the Fogas, people went back so terrible because some of the Fogas are not paying dividends, and that's because of their impairment losses. So, but we still have some names that have paid dividends, and I'm happy that some of these names are names that we have actually mentioned on this channel. So if you already have, if you had taken any of the calls we made and of course invested, you should be
expecting something.
You should be something.
Something. I like the way something.
So you should be expecting something in the coming weeks. So I'm going to take a few of them that will be paying dividends. And then I'm going to explain a few things so that you understand what this is. There are 2 things I need to mention so that you understand, especially as a dividend stockholder, you'll understand what it means or what it means for you to be qualified. Because one of the things I'm going to mention here will be qualification date. So there is in any dividend stock, setup, you have, if you hold that stock, to what we call the qualification date, then you are most likely going to... Qualification date is the date when the company talks about how many people are qualified to get their stock, to get the dividends. So if you hold that stock till the qualification day, then you are most likely eligible to get dividends. In fact, there is a day we also have we have 3 days actually. We have 3 dates. We have the declaration date, we have the qualification date, and we have the ex-dividend date.
Okay.
So the declaration date is the date when companies say, okay, we are going to share so and so amount per share to our to our shareholders
during their meetings.
Yes. So that's the declaration date. Then you have the qualification date. Qualification date is usually the date when the company says these are the shareholders that are qualified to receive stock dividends.
Before that day?
Not before that day actually, but that's where the other date comes in, the ex-dividend date. The ex-dividend date is a date beyond which you cannot earn a dividend, and usually a few days before the qualification date. And here is why I'm saying just a few days. Now it is about 2 days because trade now settles T plus 2 days on the Nigerian exchange group. The idea is that particular share, the shares must come in your name, and it takes like 2 days to settle. So what that means is that let us say June 17th is the qualification date. That means you should have taken that trade at least June 15th. So that by June 17th,
you're qualified.
In fact, if you ask me, you should take it June 14th. Just so to avoid
in Africa, the network issues.
No, it's not about network. It's actually about you don't know the time in. And before market close, definitely those the eligible shareholders will be announced. So if you buy June 14th, then by June 16th, the trade should have settled in your name, and then you get the shares. But you can be qualified. Actually, if you buy shares after the ex-dividend date, guess what will happen? It is the person that sold the shares to you that will get the dividend. So you have to be very wary of. You have to be very cautious of these dates,
timing, yes.
Because if you don't, and then we have the final date, which is the payment date.
Yeah, that was what I was coming to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have the declaration date,
4 days.
the ex-dividend date. You have the qualification date, and then you have the payment date.
Yeah.
You have to take note of all of this.
All right, now let's
look at some of those names. We have Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement did very well last year, like we mentioned. Dangote performed phenomenally last year, over $1 trillion naira in retained earnings. So they did very well, and of course they have thought it wise to share some of their profits to shareholders. Everybody that holds a Dangote share, per share, you are going to get 45 naira as final dividend. So that means, and then the qualification date is actually 17th of June. And so you should understand that, I know that a lot of people will rush in to buy so that they can qualify for the dividend. So just be sure that you're not buying the top. We had mentioned this more than 2 months. More than 2 months ago. Yeah. So if you are taking us on what some of the recommendations you made, you should
expecting your something.
You should be expecting to get something at the end of this. So the final dividend, the date of payment date is actually 2nd of July, 2026.
Okay.
So that means by 17th we should know those people that are eligible, and then by 2nd of July start getting payment. So you will see it in your wallet if you are using most of this.
Before you want to go and buy now, please make sure you're not buying the top.
Before, I know a lot of people will buy now, of course,
but make sure you're not buying the top. So you don't sell the bottom. All right.
Let me mention something very clearly. So you see, sometimes that's why you don't want to chase these stocks at this time. The reason is this, and that's why we mentioned this long before, like 2 months ago, because there are two things you should understand. Dividend, this stock is trading at over 1,000 naira.
Yeah.
And then you know what 45 naira means for 1,000 naira. Now, if I'm able to, if you are taking us, we call this when it was just 900 naira or thereabout. You can see that you have already made, in terms of return on equity, in terms of what you already have in terms of share price appreciation, you've already made 200 naira compared to 45 naira that you are chasing. And most likely, after the dividend payout, a lot of some investors will sell off their positions and rotate to something else. So if you buy at, let's say, 1,200, and then just to catch a 45 naira dividend, and then immediately after the share tanks by, let's say, 200 naira, does it really make sense? No. So you don't want to change this. I know people will want to change, but you don't want to change.
Is only Dangote that is paying? No,
the not Dangote. Seplat is also paying.
Oh, yeah, Seplat.
Seplat is paying 9 cents per share. We had mentioned Seplat. Very long time ago, when it was just 9,000. Now it's about 11,000 something. So if you are taking us on that offer, you should be sitting on per share. You should be getting 9 cents. That's about 122 naira. 122 naira per share.
Okay.
So if you have 1,000 shares, you're talking about 122,000 naira per share. We also have Bua Foods. We had mentioned Bua Foods. I think it was one of the consumables.
And we actually called it, was it defensive then?
No, it was consumables.
It was during, was it when we had a conversation on the war in Iran? So we're trying to say, okay, these are the stocks that you can actually use.
You can also use
as defensive then.
To
To gauge your portfolio.
Yeah. So we mentioned. So if you are taking us on that, then you should be expecting something.
Something.
my host will call it small salt. Okay, so Boa Foods is paying 28 naira per share, and the qualification date is 4th of June 2026. While payment is expected July 15, 2026.
All right.
So given that it's 4th of June, I mean, it's just about
very few days. You see your something.
So, but before you go buy, you don't want to buy buy a chart that looks like an Empire State Building. You don't want to buy a parabolic chart, please. Always balance between the dividend that you want to get and
the price.
The price, please. Because if you buy and then it comes down, then in absolute terms you are on the losing end.
That's by emotion.
Then the last one, I think we also mentioned this, was Skyway Aviation Handling Company. We mentioned that as part of the beneficiaries of the Dangote listing.
Okay, Dangote listing, yes.
Dangote listing. We also mentioned.
I remember that particular.
Yes, because we said companies are handling that they have
aviation
with an aviation. Yes, we also mentioned. So they are paying 1 naira 20 kobo per share, and the qualification date is like tomorrow, June 2nd.
Okay. You can't even buy this one again.
We are not saying people should. We are not saying this because we want people to rush go and buy. We are just saying if you are taking us when we called it, then you should. And by the way, if you look at most of these stocks, the prices are like through the roof right now because everybody wants to catch.
You can't even buy today again. You can't buy that one. You can't buy.
No, if you buy that one, you are not qualified anyway because 2nd of June and today is already.
You need 2 days.
You need 2 days to settle. And so payment is expected on the 25th of June 2026.
All right, that was it. Now, why I'm happy is that we've mentioned all those stocks. We called all those stocks like some months ago, and that's the beauty of actually following us because we take time to look at these things critically. We understand the fundamentals and we can actually say what we say. Now, let's move straight to others because most people don't really understand that. Before this show, I was telling you about somebody that was talking about penny stocks. He said if he had 1 million naira, he would buy enough penny stocks that when they grow. I was just looking at it, I was like, penny stocks? You see, apart from buying stocks, you must look at the liquidity factor of every stock.
That is very important.
Look at, because you don't just buy what you cannot sell. According to it's not about buying stocks, it's about buying what can be sold. If you actually need cash, if you actually want to reinvest, you can sell it. So it's not about buying penny we don't hear us say penny stocks, not because penny stocks are not good, but we don't like doing gambling. We prefer doing stocks that we are very sure of. Look at the fundamentals. We've used their previous data to predict where they are going to. We can't tell you penny stocks because we've not seen them. They've not done anything significant that we can say. So now let's move straight to those stocks.
Yes.
That have not just been paying dividends, but they've been paying dividends consistently. And they've been paying dividends very good. And they are in a very good position to continue paying these dividends. Now let's look at them.
So the first one I'm going to mention is Zenith Bank.
Okay.
Zenith Bank for me is, and by the way, I know we've called this a long time.
Every time we call Zenith Bank.
Every time we call Zenith Bank. So Zenith Bank, majorly the banks are the biggest dividend payers in the entire NGX. That's why if you are hunting for dividends, people will tell you go to the banks. So the banks are paying dividend. They have been paying very consistently. They have performed well. Zenith Bank did a very sterling performance last year, very strong earnings, and this year already year to date it's already up over 70%. And then they already considering dual listing, which means liquidity. It allows for liquidity to come into the stock itself. Most of those stocks that have dual listing are very strong. An example is GTCO. So Zenith Bank is going to be one name that you should be considering.
If you want dividends,
dividend consistent, then Zenith Bank pays a very good. I like the fact that they pay a good chunk of their profits as dividends to their shareholders, the investors. So you want to add Zenith Bank to your list of the dividend stock portfolio.
Okay,
that's the number one. The second one is GTCO, of course. GTCO did, in fact, of all the focus, GTCO announced the highest dividends. You want to go to GTCO. I remember when GTCO, I was hunting for, on behalf of my organization, some of our clients were hunting for these dividend stocks. I remember we bought GTCO at 44 naira last year, 43 naira by the way, last year, and now you can look where GTCO is currently is around 137 naira per share. It actually went as far as 151 naira per share. But I mean, of course, we've faced a lot of people are kind of rotating out of some of those names to be able to get liquidity for the Dangote listing. But the point is, both in terms of return on equity and in terms of dividend stock, we are gaining. And which is one of the things I'm going to mention. You don't, in as much as dividend is very important because it gives you that cash flow, return on equity is also very important because you don't want to be a penny wise, pound foolish. Yeah, you gain like 20 naira in terms of your dividends, and then you lose 100 naira in terms of your
price,
the stock price. So you want to, some of the names I mentioned here specifically are names that we over the past few payments cycles, we've seen that they are paying consistently, but also the share price is also growing. So we have mentioned Zenith Bank, we mentioned GTCO. Another name we mentioned. This is a bit. I mean, that's the two focus that I can mention. But there's another focus, another member of the focus, the tier 1 banks that has been paying consistently, but they couldn't just pay this. They couldn't announce a dividend this time because of the impairment losses that they had, and that is UBA. UBA has been paying. Just that this time around they have not paid. That's why you saw the share price sank because people are trying to rotate out of. Investors in Nigeria, I had said that in the previous podcast. Investors in Nigeria, one thing you notice about them is that they punish a name. Immediately you don't announce dividends, they punish you immediately because for them, why are we still hanging around with you?
When you can't pay
if you look at that Access Bank, for instance, Access Bank is now down to 24 naira. Being a 24 naira, if it gets to 22 naira, I'm still going to buy.
When it comes to Access Bank, we have given it to you. We've given Access Bank to you.
So even if it gets to 24 naira, 21 I will still buy it because I know why Access Bank is down. I know why it is number one, they didn't pay dividend, so investors punish you immediately. And why didn't they pay dividend? Because of the impairment losses. They had $523 billion billion naira in impairment losses. So because of that, they couldn't pay dividend. So that is that. So UBA has been punished. So I mean, it's a good time for you to buy because UBA has been punished. You don't want to buy like the names like GTCO, for instance, was at 150 something. People were buying. Now it's 137. And I said it over and over again. I know that guy that was saying on the comment section, when is GTCO coming down so we can buy? I said it will come down.
It is now down. Will you buy?
If they won't buy, this is what happens. People will say, oh, if it comes down 10%, I will buy. And I lie. When it comes down 10%, you say, okay.
It's coming down.
It will come down. Until it goes back up and then you run back in. So that just happened. Once they announce the qualification date, once GTCO announced, because of course they are paying dividend. So once they announce qualification date, guess what happens? Everybody will rush to buy, and by the time you are rushing to buy, the price at that time the price would have gone up because some of these people, sometimes it's computers that trade. So immediately the announcement is made, the price shoots up, and then you go and buy the top. And then we keep on worrying where the price will come down so you can buy. Maybe when the price comes down, you sell.
Then you now complain and say the stock market is not.
The stock market is scam. It's not scam. It's because you don't understand these technicalities and know exactly when to buy. So those are the three names for the focus.
That's Zenith Bank,
GTCO, and UBA.
All right.
So apparently we have left out. Access Core and
no, don't worry. Access is for you.
First Holdco. First Holdco for the same reason they have not really paid. The next one I will mention that also pays consistently is before we go to Seplat is Dangote Cement.
Okay,
Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement.
They're even paying this month.
Yeah, they are paying this month, and they will continue. They have been making huge profit. The thing is, companies pay from their profits. So if they don't make profits, then they can't pay. Access Bank made profit actually. But the reason why they did not pay, because I know someone will answer, Access Bank made profit, why they not? Access Bank made profit, First Holdco made profit, profit after tax. But the reason why they did not pay is because their impairment loss was so huge that the CBN said, no, you can't pay.
You should focus on
because when it comes to banks, in terms of priority, depositors are top priority before shareholders. And when you talk about impairment losses, you're talking about people's money that have been trapped in bad loans. So the CBN is more concerned about
you paying the loans.
of retrieving people's money first before you begin to attend to shareholders. So that's it. Dangote Cement has been making profit, and they'll continue. They are expanding. I said, I think 3 weeks or a month ago when we called Dangote Cement, I said they are expanding. You see what is happening in Ethiopia. They are expanding across the African continent, and this represents Africa. Is the infrastructure deficit in Africa is over $100 billion. That's an opportunity. That's an insane opportunity. So when you're investing in Dangote Cement and Bua Cement, but more specifically Dangote Cement, because it has the widest Pan-African spread, you are investing in Africa's infrastructure turnaround. So you are not just hunting for the dividend itself, you are also hunting for return on equity. So that's for Dangote Cement. Then the next one I'll mention, so we've mentioned a total of 4 now. So the next one I'll mention is the same Boa Foods that we talked about. Boa Foods, as I saw someone made a post and said that Boa Food has actually gotten it right with their long grain rice. So it's very when you adopt what we call a vertical integrated structure for your business, profit maximization is almost guaranteed. Boa Foods made a very impressive performance last year, and then that's why you see they pay dividends. And I trust they will continue to pay dividends for the foreseeable future. Because the more profit they make, and the thing is that I remember one of the things we mentioned, food is something, you can stop buying clothes. You can stop, in fact, you can, when the Bible talked about, it said, food, if I can have food and I have clothes,
shelter.
It didn't even mention shelter. He said, if I have food and Paul said, if I have food and I have clothes, I'm okay. So that means in the scheme of things, even Abraham Maslow said what? Food.
Yeah.
And he mentioned 4 things. I'm going to just mention only 3.
Number one need
is food. So as far as human beings continue to exist, they will consume. You know, even if we decide to live in Mars, we'll still consume. So Boa Foods is another name that you should be mentioned in looking at. Then the next name I want to touch on is Seplat.
Okay.
Seplat is, Seplat story is one of the...
It's something that if you go through our plan, you'll see Seplat.
You will see Seplat. Seplat is paying 9 cents. And the good thing is that Seplat is going to be paying dividends in US dollars. The same thing with the Dangote. Dangote coming in will be paying dividends in US dollars. You can actually buy though in Nigerian naira. It's listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, so you can buy in Nigerian naira. But that dollar denominated dividend makes you immune to FX liquidity issues or FX challenges. So Seplat is also another, and it's a consider. Last year they paid over 255 billion naira in just dividends. That tells you that Seplat.
People hear 9 cents, they don't understand what 9 cents means. Multiply 9 cents times 1,000. Don't do it. Let them do it.
Okay, not times 1,000, it's times 1,380. I think that's the current exchange rate.
Yeah.
So that is something you should look at. So Seplat is also another.
All right. The 7th one.
Then the last name is, at least you guys should still come to my area.
Access. No, we're giving you access. Take it, just take it.
If you can do access, you can do something. Someone already told me Dangote. When I was talking about this dividend stock, he said Dangote. I said Dangote has not listed yet, and you guys are already planning.
You are going to get dividend.
How you are going to get
stock
dividend?
That has not been listed.
Sometimes. Speaking of which, I want people to be very careful about the Dangote. I'm very big on Dangote, but here is the deal: people actually are already in the market. So what you should understand is that people will need to take profits So Dangote is looking at $50 billion. People will need to take profit. So before you hunt for your dividend stock in Dangote, ensure that you enter at the point, allow the hype to die down. And price, that's what we call price discovery. Let Dangote discover itself.
You're even late. People already in the market.
Until September.
You're late.
For those that are hunting for the IPO, you are not late.
You're not late.
But for those that are hunting for, I've already started planning the dividends.
Calculate the dividends in dollars.
You will be very sure, very sure you're not an exit liquidity.
All right. Seventh one was what? Access Bank.
There's Access Bank, yeah. Access Bank, I know it's not doing very well, but I mean, we know the reason why Access Bank is down. It's not that Access Bank will never pay dividends. They will resume paying dividends. Once they make profit, once they're able to take care of their payment losses, and then Access Bank is a name that it's the valuation is very tiny. It's just 0.3 price to book. So it's cheap at this time. If you buy at this time, don't wait until people, because if Access Bank begins to, maybe in the second half of the year, makes profit and announce dividend, people will now rush in. And then you go and buy Access Bank at 100 naira when you should buy it at 24 naira at this time.
Oh, that's true. It's true. That's very nice. So if you're looking for penny stocks, or maybe you want to invest, you can use Access Bank as a penny stock.
No, it's not. It's Access Bank. Access Bank is not a penny stock.
Okay, just assume.
It's not a penny stock, please. I take an exception. It's not a penny stock.
You can assume. You can just assume that you're buying a penny stock. All right. Thank you very much. Now we've done 7. Let's go through the list again. Zenith Bank,
yes,
GTCO, UBA, Dangote Cement, Boa Foods, Seplat, then Access Bank, penny stocks.
Leave it at that point.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming, and we'll keep watching it. And on that note, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and also put a notification bell on this channel. Now, if you go to our profile, you'll see a link to our Telegram channel, where we actually have a close connection with our community. Now, you ask us any question, because most times before we actually upload this video to our channel, the market must have actually moved, because it takes time to edit and do other things and make these videos available. So, but you can ask us questions, real-time questions, through our community. So join our community via the link on our profile. And also do not forget that the elite of 21st century are not those who do not go to school or those who will not go to school, but are those who have refused to evolve as their environment is evolving. My name is Providence. I'll see you again.